Hey there, YouTube. It's Petey Two Finger. I just got back from Reggie's Banana Rum, the Mike Keneally concert. I got to meet Brian Beller and Mike Keneally. Mike was accommodating. I was able to. We'll pop over so you can see. I took a picture with Mike. There's me with Mike. The show was mind-blowingly great. Mike plays... He's a multi-instrumentalist guy who initially was famous because he played guitar for Frank Zappa. So this was the trifecta for me. I've seen Adrian Belew, I've seen Steve Vai, now I saw Mike Keneally. Mike was with Zappa at the end of his life and played with Zappa's sons. Ahmet and Dweezil had a band called Z, and Mike was in that band. But to minimize him and say he's a Zappa guy, well, Zappa died in '93, and since then Mike has continued in that vein of making this jazz rock, really interesting, complicated, challenging, I would say. It's the music that when I listen to it, it doesn't click right away, but if you keep listening to it, it'll hit you like a train. So I was saving this music for a rainy day, which turns out to be now. One of my dear friends who he's a music person. He plays guitar. Talented guy, not like me, talented. And he told me his personal favorite musician that came out of that Zappa thing is Mike Keneally. So he told me he's touring, which is rare. So I got a ticket and I started listening to this stuff, and mainly I was listening to Hat and Sluggo, and then there's a Beer for Dolphins album that's on YouTube, so I was listening to that, but I haven't really cracked the nut yet. I was just getting my whistle wet of Mike Keneally music. Now Mike plays guitar and unbelievable on the keys, unbelievable keyboard player, and he does them both at the same time. But the thing about Mike's music is the vocal is, I would say, it's ecstatic. There is ecstasy to be found in these vocals. They are glorious, and like they kind of don't sound like they go with the song at first, but then they do. And like there's a lot of really like high, like it's just glorious. It's ecstatic vocal, and it's really different the way his music is written. It's unusual music in the first place, but then the vocals on top of it is what really stands out to me about Mike Keneally's music. So it's really exciting to be on the precipice of like falling in love with this guy's music, his career. Tonight the show he just delivered. It was the last. It was like they played like 5 shows for this tour from the East Coast. They did Prague Fest, and then they ended up in Chicago. So to try to analyze the set list, he started off with Lightnin' Roy, which is a song that I know. And I know that they played 2001. I know that they played Live in Japan, Carousel Progress. They did play Bunkistan, I think, which is a Brian Beller piece. The guy who was sitting next to me had seen Mike Keneally more than any other artist that he had been to a bunch of shows, and I'm like, did you see him with Z? And he said, oh yeah. So Z is the band with Frank Zappa's sons, Dweezil Zappa and Ahmet Zappa, and Mike was in that band. And Brian Beller played in Z. And Brian Beller, Metapocalypse, he's in Aristocrats. Brian is one of the world's top bass players. There's a cartoon called Metapocalypse. Brian is in that band. So I don't think Brian is on the show as the bass player doing the crazy voice as much as he plays the bass. Like Metapocalypse is a real band. And the drummer was Frank Zappa's drummer, also Vaultmeister. Frank had a vault where he keeps all of his life's work. And Joe Travers is the guy who is in charge of that stuff. He's the Vaultmeister. Now, I had never seen Joe Travers perform live before, and he's my new favorite drummer. The guy is a beast. He is a really dynamic drummer. He did a drum solo, which that may have been, it was certainly the most musical drum solo. Like I saw, who's the guy, Dave Lombardo in Phantomas, Mike Patton's noise metal nightmare demonic thing, where he speaks in tongues. He doesn't sing. That was one of the cooler drum solos I ever saw, because it was like a noise drum solo. He had like a waterophone and a bunch of weird things that he did. This was a really musical drum solo. It didn't do any of the like bum, 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 bum. It was none of that stuff. It was just short to the point and very dynamic. But man, is Joe Travers a great drummer. I've seen Marco Miniman, I've seen Danny Carey, I've seen a bunch of like really good drummers. You have to just trust me on that one. I'm kind of running a blank on listing great drummers for you, but you have to trust me when I say Joe Travers is. And Brian Beller, I saw him in Aristocats. So yeah, the Mike Keneally show was just mind-blowingly great. I was laughing out loud. I went through a bunch of tissues because I was crying. It was so unbelievably great. Really powerful. Like, there were moments where it got really like jazzy and musical and softer, and there were other moments where it got really intricate with layered harmonies with the vocals and the keyboard because see they had a bunch of people on the stage at the end. They had another two people join them. The opening act was this unbelievably talented guy on guitar and this attractive woman, a little girl, short. I don't mean like a little girl, but she was petite, and she was playing guitar and singing. And they had another guy get up there to help out with vocals. I don't know who he was, if he was the opener, because I got in late. But they had such a massive sound, and there were other times where the music was really powerful. Like, I hate to use the H word, because it wasn't like heavy metal. It was something different. And it didn't have that swinging dick kind of Led Zeppelin feel to it at all. So, yeah, this guy, Keneally, is really something else. This was really a special night for me. The guy next to me, I wish I would have been like, dude, let's be friends. When I left, I said to him, sometimes the best friendships are the shortest friendships, because it always seems like I rub people the wrong way, and I can only maintain a friendship for a short period of time. And that being said, you have to understand, you get to a certain point in your life where you may not value human interaction like you did at one point in your life. So I am obviously sick. I would love to keep rambling on about how great the Keneally show was. I gotta let you guys go. I'm really excited about what's going to be coming up. I wasn't gonna talk about this. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll talk about the whole thing. I've got something huge planned, and it's happening. I just I almost thought like it would be better to not talk about it. It's tough for me, you know. I always say like the real meat and potatoes of this channel is it's the music, the remotes, and then I'll spend 18 hours editing a remote, and I'll get 6 views on it. And then I'll sit here and talk, or I'll put a picture of a female on the thumbnail, and I'll get 300 views. You know, so it's just like, I don't do YouTube for the attention or to be famous, but you can't help but let the numbers get to your head. You can't, I guess I should just be like, I'm doing this for myself. I'm never going to be successful or a big YouTuber, because that's not my goal. I know I would have to really change a lot of things if I was going to try to do that. So we'll see how I feel, but keep in mind, see, that's another thing. Like, if nobody cares, why should I talk about the plans that I'm excited about if people don't care about that stuff? You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? People don't care. So don't waste your time, and don't set yourself up for to feel bad about something. So yeah, the Mike Keneally show, unbelievable, mind-blowing show. I kept thinking of how much of an unbelievable dummy I am for seeing this guy in 2025 for the first time. Why was I saving this for a rainy day? I should have been listening to this stuff, because I knew who he was when I was 18 years old. Anyway, you guys, I've got to cut you loose. I am really excited about my plans. So I hope wherever you are, you've got something good in your life you can look forward to. That's important. Keeping yourself busy and setting goals, accomplishing those goals. That's what keeps us out of the big D, the depression. I mean, it's the capacity, with the way things in the world have been going. There certainly is capacity for you to feel like things are bad, getting worse. You need to have something to fall back on. It used to be people went to church. People don't go to church anymore. And I think it would be better for us as a society, as a nation, if we had something. Like, I can't stick up for God or organize religion, You know, I understand why people don't want to have anything to do with the church. I get it. With the sex scandals and then the money stuff with this, you know, you have one thing with one religion where it's like that's going on with the kids, and then other type of religion where they went with like television evangelists who turned out to be, you know, corrupt. And it's really something. So some of us have found music as an outlet and something that can kind of keep us going. And it's not that it's a religion or a spiritual experience, but it can be for some of us. And what I experienced tonight was something on a really high level of that. And it's a shame that, you know, like I get to meet the guy, and it's like he's kind of in a hurry to go and do his thing. I'm kind of cutting in there and trying to get a picture real quick, and it's like if I could have had a chance to really explain to him what that experience was like for me, like how much it had an effect on me to hear him doing his thing, because he did this like, oh, it's, you know, I'm like, it's, you know, I think Mike is one of these guys that he might not be so comfortable with people telling him that he can walk on water or save them with his music. It would be easier for him to laugh it off and go, oh yeah, it's just a thing that I do. You know, I'm lucky to do it. Because he was oh my goodness. You know, and that's the thing with this guy. It was much more of like sometimes when you see a performer like they're really good at soloing or vocal, like this guy had it all. He was doing the guitar, he was doing the piano, and then the vocals on top of it were like, and then the songwriting. So I was like, all of it in one package with this guy. And he doesn't look, he looks like a priest. He looks like if you put a collar on him, he could bless you and you'd go to heaven, you know. He doesn't look like Ace Frehley or one of the guys in Born Javi. Oh, guys, I think the antihistamine's starting to kick in. I had taken 3 of those things this morning because I was like in trouble, and I'm like, I don't get sick. I don't go to shows, and I've got a ticket to go to a show and I get sick. So I hope I didn't get anybody sick today. That being said, I wanted to thank the wonderful staff at Reggie's. The parking situation, I'm not a fan of that, but they were always really accommodating with me at Reggie's. And I'll just say, when we're at shows, we want to try to be conscious of others around us. You know, it's a music thing. If somebody asks you if the seat next to you is open, you don't have to like act like you're gonna beat them up. You know, maybe the person legitimately is disabled, and they were told by the staff to sit there. You know, if you're 7 feet tall and this wide, and you see somebody sitting, don't stand in front of them and keep shifting your weight constantly for hours at a time. This guy, he was like a billboard, this big, dumb, fat guy, and he just kept shifting back and forth, like, dude, you know I'm here. You know? the amount of stuff I've put up with at shows, and then like asking a guy if the seat is taken, and he's like gonna like it's on, like he wanted to fight me. So the other dude that was next to me, I wish I would have got his information and we could have had a little bromance. He was a good guy. I told him when I left, I said, some of the best friendships are the shortest friendships. And he said, oh no, don't leave. They're going to come out. You can beat them. And I'm so glad he did, because I got to talk to Brian Beller. Like, I talked to Brian Beller. Like, he's the best bass player in the world. One of them. No offense to my man Bob Nicewager. Different types of bass players, totally. Like, I would like to get those two guys in together. And so Bob could give Brian some lessons, and Brian could give Bob some lessons. Vice versa. Totally different thing, but oh my goodness, is Brian great. He is such an unbelievable. And Joe Travers, oh, best drummer. So yeah, what I saw tonight was something unbelievably special. Super special thanks to my pal Tony Jones for twisting my arm about this. I have officially become a Mike Keneally fan, and I'm going to be listening to this music. So I'll talk to you guys soon. Hello, Kita. My buddy Kita. Come and say hi, Kita. Come and sit. Come and sit with Daddy. Come and sit. Come and sit. Come and sit. Hi, Daddy. Hi, buddy. Hi. How are you? How are you? He's a good, nice baby, Kita.
Oh, don't breathe your sick breath on.
He's a nice baby, nice. He never chases a mouse. He's a nice little baby, nice. Okay, guys, this is what I'm always saying: hug your pets, hug. Right, Kita? Hug. I go like this. I flex my arm as hard as I can, and I make my chest as hard as a rock, like I'm going to give him a bear hug, but I don't compress him. I just go hug. Right, Kita? And I do nice magical raspberries in his necky too. Oh, baby, Kita. He's a nice little boy. I love you. I love you, Kita. Yes, Daddy loves you. He's a nice baby. How about sit and I do a little brushy. This is what I do here. We get a brushy. I let him smell it first. I'll just give him a little whippy. Whip. Nice little whippy. A little spank on the backside, and he's off. And now it's time for treats. Now I've got to pay the piper. Gotta pay the ferryman. That's the fee. Okay, buddy. What, too many?
No, that's all right. I
6 treats is way too many. All right, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me on this one. I wish you could have been there with me. It was unbelievable. If you get a chance to see this guy, you could actually just get into his music. You know, Mike Keneally. MikeKenneally. Mike Keneally. Check it out. Some really good stuff. I will talk to you guys soon. hug your pets, and peace.